Hey, and welcome to the video. I'm your host, Oni Sorosausha. This video is a bit of an experiment for me, and I'm trying to branch out and create more content. If you like what you see, please leave a comment down below. If you don't like what you see, please leave a comment down below that won't get you banned from YouTube. Today, I'm going to be talking about 5 amazing starships. I've always been a fan of science fiction starships. Like most kids born in the 80s, I had even wanted to be an astronaut when growing up. While that dream may be long gone, I still love to imagine what it'd be like to be behind the helm or in the cockpit of one of these iconic ships. Number 1. The Enterprise Ncc 1701D is my favorite ship from Star Trek. Not only because it was captained by Picard, but also because I love the design. The first time that this glorious craft really caught my attention was when I was around 8 years old. My aunt had a scale model replica of it, and its smooth and sleek design really stands out. While it's similar to the original NC 1701 model, it has smoother curves connecting the warp drives to the main body and decks. The unique thing about this ship compared to the others on the list is that it's the largest, requiring a huge crew to maintain and operate. The design seems perhaps more fantastical than some of the others because it seems like an incredibly awkward shape, and while capable of planetary landing, doesn't seem terribly aerodynamic. One of the reasons for this is the fact that these starships are meant to be built in space, and only rarely ever make planetfall thanks to transporter technology. Next, from Star Wars, we have the X-Wing fighter. This ship is absolutely iconic, as near anyone can recognize one from a mere glance. The first time that this beautiful machine caught my eye, I may have only been around 5 years old. My parents bought me a Star Wars pop-up book, and among the papercraft visages that sprang from the pages was a stunning X-Wing fighter that I would sometimes pop open from the pages and just stare at and wonder. If I couldn't be Luke Skywalker because I can't use the Force powers or anything like that, I could at the very least imagine myself becoming a true ace fighter pilot in one of these amazing ships. The ship is reminiscent of real-world fighter planes and sports an aggressive design that's sure to fire up your imagination and heart. The next ship is from an old 80s movie that's quite near and dear to my heart. Not just because of the fact that it's a great ship, but the story itself revolves around one of my greatest passions. I must have watched this movie over 100 times growing up. The Gunstar, featured in The Last Starfighter, is a ship piloted by Alex Rogan, an ordinary kid from Earth who's recruited into the Rylos military by a crafty alien named Centauri. The whole reason he's recruited? Centauri plants an arcade machine on Earth, and Alex happens to annihilate the simulated Kodan Armada. If you just take a close look at the ship, you'll realize that it has front-facing thrusters and destabilized wings. This is a starship designed not only to move just forwards, but backwards and make absolutely insane 360-degree motions in just about any direction you can imagine. This is demonstrated in the final fight scene where the ship unleashes its ultimate move, the Death Blossom, absolutely annihilating everything around it, which happens to be the entire armada in the movie. Speaking of video games, that happens to be where the next ship comes from. Namely, Star Fox. This was a game that I got hold of almost immediately when it came out because my older second cousin encouraged my dad to pick it up. Now, to be fair, a majority of the missions that the Star Fox team engage in are planet-side, but the R-Wings are quite well equipped for space travel as well. The form factor on these ships are nearly entirely that of fighter ships designed after actual jet planes. Able to perform high-speed maneuvers, do an aileron roll, yes, I insist on being technically correct, and armed to the teeth with smart bombs and powerful blasters, the R-Wings made sure that you wouldn't let Andros make a monkey out of you. And, last but not least, comes another ship that comes from a movie that I really enjoyed when I was younger. Funny enough, I never saw it in theaters or even had it on VHS or DVD. It's the Trimaxian drone ship from Flight of the Navigator. This ship is something special in an altogether different way from anything else you've seen in this video so far. It's not a ship meant for an entire crew. It's not a ship meant to destroy. It's a ship that was designed to learn, catalog, and explore. The way the ship is controlled in the movie is fantastic as well. Everything about the way that the kids' hands moved in sync with the motions created gave me the same kind of feeling that I get when I experience virtual reality now. And I like to imagine that someday someone will make a virtual reality experience where you can pilot a ship, just like in this movie. Well, that's the video, folks. For all of you who stuck around all the way to the end, I really appreciate having you here. If you want to get in touch with me, take a look at all the links down below in the description. Most of the images I used in this video are created by the original sources, but one image in particular is fan art that was made in Blender by a very talented artist. I'll have his Reddit thread linked in the description as well. I haven't decided what kind of other videos I plan to make yet, but if anyone wants to see more like this, maybe I'll cover some other ships in the future. Until next time, have a good one, and take care. Later.